Well, today is the technically day number one of, I guess, what I'm considering to be the true start of the 200 by 40 project, where, as before, I felt that I was still trying to kind of figure out what would be my sort of main source of motivation. Now that we have in earnest started, sort of the countdown, 365 days, this makes it real. It makes it like it's finally here. And I don't know, all of these things that I'm doing is, and this is something that I've been thinking about quite a bit for the last few days, is these are all things that I'm trying to see what sticks, sort of like this is experimenting in weight loss, experimentation. And again, as we talked about, or we have talked about many times before, there's always for people like us who are struggling with this. There's certainly a component, a mental health component, a psychological component to this. And so, something that I've always read and heard and being talked about quite a bit is external accountability. And of course, we always know that at the end of the day, if we are not truly committed to ourselves, nothing else really matters. But there is a little bit of, having an external accountability factor really helps sort of bring it home when you're in a difficult situation sometimes. And I'm trying to figure out, I've got a weird rogue beard hair. But I'm trying to see in what way this external accountability can work in our favor. And so since I'm such a numbers-oriented person, seem to really like the symmetry and the symmetry and the accountability that comes with numbers, being able to measure things and see all that stuff, I'm finding ways for this to stick, to sort of keep everything front of mind, as opposed to the way that it has been in the past, where you get caught up in so much going on in life, and then everything, all the efforts that we're making start taking a back seat. And for us, it's not as easy. Some other things might be easier for us that are not for other people. But in this particular case, that would be the thing that we need the most help with. And so these are the things that I'm trying to do. And, I could not do it in public and just sort of try to figure it out. And then once I've figured it out, present the findings. But I thought it would be more interesting to be able to see it this way, more of like in real time, even if that sometimes isn't the most appealing, or, it can be frustrating at times. It's certainly frustrating for me. I keep struggling with this, but I'm also finding ways to improve the situation, to improve my systems, to improve my mindset, to do the mental health work in order to be able to be successful at this. And so this is the latest iteration. Is it going to be successful? I don't know. I hope so. Like I said, and I've mentioned many times before, we're setting the end goal a little bit further down the road so that we can adjust and course correct. But it helps give us an end goal in mind, I guess, and it'll make it so that when we're maybe wavering a little bit, we try to hold on to that and keep pushing. So that is what we are doing. So today is day one. One of the interesting things is I will be documenting my food in a different way, like I mentioned, and I'm going to start uploading. I still, again, haven't quite decided what I'm going to do. It's probably going to be some Instagram Reels at least. But I'm going to be doing it sort of like short form so that it's easier to digest. And, there's a separation between these kinds of videos that are a little more intimate, and then a way of documenting food that is a little more it's just easier to consume. And so we will be having a separation of those two things. And by the time this comes out, you should have a link in the description if you want to go and check out what I ate today, because it'll be hopefully an interesting and engaging little piece of content that also is very informative. So that's something that we will be I will be working on this week, sort of that format. And by the time this comes out, then you know, this other video will also have come out. And so that is basically what the plan is. You know, there's always a period of adjustment as you're first starting out with something new like this, and it's certainly the case for me. I also anticipate there's going to be a little bit of friction just because I'm doing something like this for the first time and sort of starting to change my approach to this. And again, you know, the main motivator behind sharing this content really is a way to document it for myself and sort of keep it front of mind and make it so that I'm basically thinking about this all the time, and I don't get to sort of like put it in the back burner. So that is what we're going to be doing. So let's see how things unfold over the next few days. See ya.